They will play a key role in what Movement Generation calls a just transition, which Gopal was talking about. To move away from a destructive, extractive economy to resilient, more productive, and healthy economy. Worker cooperatives are a logical, if not natural, solution for communities that suffer the most under the austere conditions imposed upon them by the extractive economy. Jessica Gordon Nemhart documents dozens of examples of how the African American community worked in and promoted cooperative enterprises to improve the lives of more people in their community. W.E.B. Du Bois was a huge promoter of cooperative development and education. Around the world, there are successful examples of worker cooperatives run by prisoners and former prisoners that can be duplicated in Los Angeles County, Brazil, Ethiopia, Italy, Puerto Rico, Sweden, Britain. All have worker cooperative models that serve as part of their rehabilitation and reentry programs. Evidence of the success of the program shows up in drastically reduced recidivism rates from 50 or 70% to 5 and 10%. Collective Remake will offer a supportive community space, educational programming, training, and technical support to build and support the development of worker cooperatives that will provide living wage jobs for people who cannot find work because they have a criminal record. Collective members, worker owners, and community partners will share direct experience, skills, and training through development hubs, including administration, development, business, finance, and legal support, cooperative education, community partnership, health and wellness, and marketing and promotion. Collective Remake's unique organizational structure is modeled after the Zapatistas and also resembles what in Europe they call social cooperatives. The Zapatista model gives power back to the community, promotes collectivism and self-governance. It provides an example to millions of people around the world who are building their own alternatives to neoliberalism. Social cooperatives in Europe are organized to meet the practical and social needs of the community, like healthcare, elder care, social services, and workforce integration for former prisoners. Undertaking that education is key to the success of worker cooperatives. So I developed a series of cooperative education workshops and implemented them over the last year. Through these workshops, I have connected with over 100 individuals and enlisted many cooperative community partners, many of whom are here this evening. Collective Remake is partnering with Fair Chance Project to launch its first worker-owned business, Recycle for Jobs. Fair Chance Project represents a movement led by liberated lifers, prisoners and loved ones, and they are working around the demand for just sentencing laws and fair parole practices. The group integrates formerly incarcerated men and women into society, enabling them to give back and build strong, self-sustaining communities. We are also working with youth at Free LA High to launch a student-run cooperative, also a recycling project, and women at California Institute for Women, CIW, to start an art cooperative. In the next decade, Collective Remake will support an expanding network of worker-owned businesses that will prevent incarceration and keep people home. With that, I would like to introduce my comrade and partner in cooperatives, Bill Marshall, Fair Chance member.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Bill.
My name is Bill Marshall. I have spent over 30 years of my life in the California state prison system. My last stay was 16 years on a 25-to-life sentence, 3 strikes and you're out. It's a fact that I can go out into the streets and get a gun or some drugs and earn $200, $300, maybe even live a good life. in a pinch. At the age of 56, I've been out 3 years, and I plan to stay out. I work 7 days a week. The income of 2 part-time jobs and volunteer work in different areas of Los Angeles. My car broke down recently, so I spend a day, 3 or 4 hours a day on buses and trains. Still, I feel fortunate that people would give me a chance to work. I don't use drugs or drink, but in order to have a roof over my head, I share a room with 3 other men. I live in a sober living home. The prefix R means again. I was a repeat offender who returned to prison numerous times, finally being fitted with 25 years to life. It's ironic that I was once on a trash heap, discarded in a landfill called prison. Some felt I was redeemable, most not so much. Due to the hard work of many of you and organizations such as FACTS, now Fair Chance, the law was overturned by the vote, the will of the people in 2012. Now I am a recycled product, I am an asset, and a productive human being. California has a goal to have 0 landfills by 2050. We would love to close some of those human landfills with recycling for jobs.
Yes, we will.
All right, we have 5 minutes for questions for Mary, and I'm going to ask that the people who shot their hands up the last 3 rounds, who all asked questions multiple times, that you wait and see if there's other folks who haven't asked questions yet get a chance to ask questions. So if you've got a question and you haven't asked a question yet, this is your chance. Are you raising your hand?
Who, me?
No.
No.
Sure.
Hey, Mary, what did you use for startup funds?
Actually, we are just raising cash right now through Recycle for Jobs. Right now, it looks more like a fundraiser than a worker-owned cooperative. And we will be looking into doing crowdsourcing, looking at some of the funding organizations that Gopal was speaking of, and looking for personal donations as well.
Talk about your table. Your table, back there.
Vivian?
No, your table, your things that are on your table.
Presentations from
Hold on.
both of you.
Okay, sorry.
I wondered if you have a space that you're actually identifying as a place in LA that you're working.
Yes. Fair Chance Project is based down at 91st and Western. And Jerry Silva is here tonight. She's the director. Bill is a Fair Chance member. And they are collaborating in initiating Collective Remake and specifically Recycle for Jobs. And they're providing office space and the infrastructure that most new organizations need. So that's all set to go. You know, the internet connection, the printers, the phones, the whole bit. So they're a key partner in this project. Thank you.
2 more questions, go ahead.
So
Wait,
this
yep.
relates to you, but it's a question that I didn't get to ask Gopal. It's money. So I got lost when you talked about the local currency, and then I got further lost when I had Bitcoin and all of this came up. And then you started talking about a $6 million fund. That sounds like cash to me. So can you explain what this local currency is?
I'd love to do it over drinks right after we're done.
Okay. But I'm
Right,
looking for the
so Fair Collective Remake is designing a way to use time banking as an investment strategy. So there are multiple time banks in Los Angeles where you know, the line is everyone has 24 hours in a day, so that's what makes us equal. So within a time bank, you know, I could design your logo and you might go do yard work for Jerry, and Jerry might sing a song at an event for Gopal. Anyway, so it doesn't have to be a direct connection, but you can actually do time banking within your own organization, and it's a way for volunteers and members of the collective to invest in the project, and they can receive something back. we're also trying to do this within the prison, the women's prison. If we can figure out a way to time bank, when women make things out of, art objects out of recycled materials, we want to bank their time, because we can't right now do a cash exchange with the prisons, but we can bank these women's time, and then they could perhaps get legal assistance or provide some assistance to their families, or save it up until they're released, if they are going to be released. So time banking is I'm really interested in developing and figuring out ways how to use that strategy more effectively.
Thank you, Mary. I think we're at time. Oh, we'll take, actually,
Me?
yeah, go ahead. Why don't you go?
When you envisioned this idea, did you do it with the sense of the future of communities, especially poorer communities, that this could be or would have to be the future? As we have it, and you mentioned our building self-sustaining communities is the only way our communities can thrive. Was that part of how you envisioned it?
Definitely, definitely. I envision a network of worker cooperatives that support each other and support communities that have been disenfranchised by the extraction of wealth from their wealth and people from their communities, and a lack of reinvestment in their communities. There's whole blocks, they call them $1 million blocks, that where you can, or Brad Carson, he's probation officer here tonight, he calls them ground zero. You can look at just a four blocks in the intersection, and the loss of dollars and the expense that the state and the government has put into incarcerating people from those areas are millions and millions of dollars. And in those same areas, you can't find green space, you can't find good food, you can't find parks, the education is for shit. So it's a matter of reinvesting like natural ecosystems do. We have a responsibility to reinvest in our communities.
Right on. I
Thank you,
like
Mary.
that.
Mary, did you want to mention your table and the elements?
Yes, sorry. So yes, the Fair Chance Project and I have some things on the table back there if you're interested. If there's only one of something, don't take it. If there's multiple copies, go ahead. There's also some posters that you can take, and if you're willing to make a donation for those, Bill Marshall has taken work off tonight, so it's a loss for him, but he so wanted to be here, and I want him to be here, so if you want to take a poster and leave a donation, that will help compensate for his loss in wages.
Have a nice day.
Hi, I'm Donald Strauss. I'm the chair of the Urban Sustainability Program, and I just want to say congratulations to all of these presentations. And thank you, Gilda, so much for shepherding this group through the process. It's not easy. People get addicted to grad school, they don't want to leave. So anyway, we have a sort of a unique tradition here at Antioch. Each of the mentors, there are 3 of us tonight who mentored these 4 students, are going to get up and say a few words about the relationship that they had over their 2 years in the program, and hand them a facsimile of a diploma and a gift that we like to give our students as they're graduating, and then we'll have a little bit more of a ceremony after that. All right, so first up is Sue Gentile, who did an excellent job of mentoring Caroline Orija.
Caroline, come on up.
Yes.
Stand next to me. Caroline, you came to us 2 years ago, an eager student, ready to learn. You asked us questions, you made us laugh, and you asked questions of your fellow students and made them laugh as well. Over your time in the program, you have taken wonderful advantage of what Antioch has to offer you, from participating in programs that the campus offered beyond our program, to taking advantage of learning opportunities outside of the university that were related to your work, and encouraging other students in your cohort to go with you. You're a wonderful motivator, a great leader, and in your field work, you did real work for Los Angeles and the surrounding area. So you already are out there doing the work that we hope our students will do. As you come to your end of time in the program and are about to graduate, we look back on your work and how each time you entered something new, you went into it with a great desire to learn and a desire to act. And that's exactly what we want. So we congratulate you, and I am privileged to be your colleague. Thank you.
Thank you, Dad, thank you, Mom, Michael, Lonray, and thank you all.
All right, so, hang on. Well, let's do them both pink. Let's not have these boy-girl colors.
That's hysterical.
So Chris and Mary, would you please come up here?
Woo!
So at one of the sort of secret powers that I have in this program is that I get to select my own mentees. Unfortunately, I have to give a lot of good ones away to my colleagues, but every once in a while I secretly snag a couple that I think, okay, these will be really interesting people to work with. And I thought when I selected Mary and Chris that it was going to be a real study in contrast. You know, Chris was coming out of an architectural and engineering background, and Mary came roaring in here, making no bones about the fact that she was coming from a background that was where she was going to drive the incarceration train right through the program. So in that regard, Mary was both tremendously rewarding to work with, and at the same time full of surprises, only in that she just continued to produce more and more and more extraordinary work. And to see the work grow, and to listen to her vocabulary and her grammar around this project that she's been working on for such a long time, it's really become it's kind of her own encyclopedia. And I think of those of you who know Mary, I'm sure you've just seen her work just blow up since she's been in the program. Chris, on the other hand, I thought, well, this is going to be one of these guys who does a really fantastic renewable energy project, or a energy efficient building project. I thought he had it written all over him. And selfishly, I'm always we're looking for a range of things in the program. So it's not really a surprise to me that Chris ended up doing the, well, it is, but as I got to know Chris, I realized that he wasn't in this to take back to the world the thing that one might expect him to take back. And the fact that he's taken this project home, and that in many, many respects it's so far from what he does, really actually made it has its own kind of admirability to it. It was, his work, both of these students, their work through the program was impeccable, really impeccable. And I have to say that those kinds of students are like, the babies that sleep through the night.
That's great.
But when their work comes in, you think, not that all of you aren't like that. Anyway, it's really been a pleasure working with both Chris and Mary, and I know that when they get back out there in the world full time, and we're not dogging them all the time to hand in a bunch of work, the world is just going to be a better place one day after the next.
Woo!
It's really cool not to be the tallest slowest
Yeah.
person in the room. You can say a word or two. Take your pink bag. All right. Now Gilda.
I'm bummed I wanted to take that.
Oh, sorry. Well, you can do Tracy's with them if you want.
Okay, so usually, of course, you know, it's great that everybody's graduating, but enough about them. What's really important is that I get promoted right now from being a professor to their colleagues, and so I hope
Yes.
that's all okay with you, that we are now all colleagues, and so thank you for that gift. But of course, Gopal, in his case, he walked in the door as a colleague, as our MA program's first climate justice fellow. We've never done this before. Actually, I don't think anyone's ever done this before. He brought in years, you heard about it, you know, he brought in years of experience to shape what we now call the climate justice movement with, you know, of course, a billion other people, but he was right there. So Gopal, like as our first climate justice fellow, he applied all of that experience to our program by teaching classes and helping to design curriculum and our residencies, and at the same time as a graduate student, he was doing the things you need to do to get a graduate degree, and at the same time he was doing all of his other work. And as a movement leader and an educator and an organizer, that was all going on too. And so he did this with a lot of typical, for him, not me, graceful energy, a whirlwind of creativity and relationships and experimentation and just sheer work, mentoring and supporting other students at the same time that he was their peer. And while it was my pleasure to serve as Gopal's mentor in our graduate program, please know that he was always quick to reciprocate, mentoring me. And to me, that's just a perfect arrangement. So you heard this kind of joke that Gopal and I have used about first endeavors, particularly ones that are highly experimental, that of course they're not perfect, they're like a first pancake. A little messed up, but like necessary, so all the other pancakes could be perfect. And so I'm not saying that Gopal as our first climate justice is like a first pancake, I'm not saying that.
But
Point was, had a point. That his generous, his spirit, his willingness to experiment, talent, and endless capacity for collaboration, his deep knowledge and commitment to what justice means, his highly developed conceptual framework about the problems and prospects of sustainability, invested all of those into our program over the last 2 years. And we all learned a lot together. So as far as the Climate Justice Fellowship goes, I think that the Urban Sustainability Program is Gopal's first pancake at a university. And so congratulations for this. I appreciate this moment. And here's your things.
Oh, here's the things. I'm going to take a second to unpack the shrine because I know everybody wants to know what's in here.
I know, it's like the baby shower, right?
Show it off.
I'm so glad there's a book. I was really worried I was going to get another Antioch University water bottle. American Earth.
Oh, cool.
Thank you.
Jake Paul.
I want to actually, just since I think I get the last word. Is this the last word?
no, but go
No.
ahead.
Okay. I wanted to quickly thank, of course, Gilda and Donald. The first time we met in the cafe and talking about this. It was like a perfect fit from the beginning. I appreciate all the support. And Sue and Adonia and Catherine and Karen and all of the faculty and all of the students. I did bring beer for all of us afterwards.
Jane.
And Jane, where's Jane? Oh my God, Jane. Jane helped me keep it under 15 minutes today. So I just want to thank everybody, and I'm really looking forward. And I keep saying this out loud publicly so that you can't take it away. I'm really looking forward to coming back and teaching again next semester.
So if all of our freshly minted colleagues could please return. Our final ceremony of the evening requires the presence of my colleague, Dr. Andrea Richards, who needs to take a picture first, apparently. Something for Twitter or Facebook, Instagram. Anyway, so my colleague, Andrea Richards, who is the Dean of Student Learning and Assessment here at Antioch, and does everything else, including sometimes late at night washing wine glasses. We have a little ceremony here in which we confer these degrees, sort of. They get their degrees when their evaluations are filed and all that stuff. So, not to take any of the romance out of it.
You know you're not.
So, Dean Richards, on behalf of the USMA faculty, I present to you for appropriate recognition the candidates for the degree of Master of Arts in Urban Sustainability for the Spring-Summer Semester 2016.
I don't get to do this very often, so thanks. Good thing the provost isn't here. Upon the recommendation of the faculty of Antioch University, Los Angeles, and by the power vested in me by the faculty of Antioch University, I hereby nominate you for the degree of Master of Arts in Urban Sustainability with all the rights, honors, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Oh yeah, so these, don't get too far from Southern California, because come this June, these guys all get to walk in a big giant graduation if they so choose. At Royce Hall sometime in late June, I don't know the exact
29th,
date.
June 29th.
Oh, June 29th, so mark it in your calendars now, save the date. So, but I do want to say one last word of thanks. This is the first group of graduating students we've ever had in this program who insisted that they not put on those silly graduation outfits, which mean that we didn't have to either. And so for that, I'm extremely grateful, among all the other things that I'm grateful to you for. Yeah, those terrible pizza boy hats or whatever they are. Anyway, so eat and drink and, and hang out and have fun. Congratulate these guys.
Class. When I arrived here, walking on foot alone, the building is not open until 8 a.m. So I can't get into it anymore. Well, I asked her to attend because we have no idea. Okay. So I will be here. I will be here. Okay. I opened the class. Okay, I opened the class. All right, that's great. That gives me some open class. That gives me some reason. And am I going to be back here tomorrow? You are one something. So that's this one down here.
Yeah, the one that
Urban Sustainability. Oh no, this is that.
And my students know that? Yes, I do. We in and Should I bring up that can? Should I open up the computer? I mean, no. I won't. I will not.
And then what time, so, and then the other thing is, what time do you need me?
Yeah, I feel
Talking more, actually.
Well, so, and whoever between Jane and Andreas and Catherine thinks first.
All right.
Because I'm
Are you
guessing.
ready to go now? I'm gonna have a drink of wine.
Really did. I see.
I do take it. I'm not in a rush, but I need to. You got a little checked out with Caroline. Last time you were calling.
James. Well, I had Peter, but they were the last time. I had James.
You were lost. But everybody, she was
Talked about his mother.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah.
I was coming because it was,
Right.
I had no idea.
Yeah, good.
And I didn't even expect it.
Yeah. Yeah, what's really happening?
How much is out there right now?
About
No, put it out, everybody have it.
You can bring all the red wine if you like.
All right, bring it out. Bring out the wine, we'll be there for an hour.
and then Paul brought some beers.
Okay, how much
About this spot.
go.